Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which simply means that I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. I have here two documents, each of them entitled Habitat for Humanity International Gift Annuity Agreement. In July 2002 and again in January 2009, on each occasion, I gave the charitable organization Habitat for Humanity $5,000. In return, they now pay me interest totaling $680 per year. These gift annuities, along with many others that I have contributed to other charitable organizations, help me to be financially secure now that I have retired from classroom teaching. What does Habitat for Humanity do? They build houses for homeless people. Their headquarters are in Americus, Georgia, the hometown of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter. President Carter has personally participated in building some of their houses. Habitat for Humanity built a bunch of houses in my state, Texas, in the town of Granbury, near the city of Fort Worth, about 300 miles north of where I live. Today is May 17th, 2013. Earlier this week, that part of Texas was ravaged by a number of tornadoes. 120 homes in Granbury, including 61 homes that had been built by Habitat for Humanity, were either severely damaged or completely destroyed. A bunch of people instantly lost all their material possessions. I have today sent some money to Habitat for Humanity to help them rebuild. I want to speak now to you religious believers who worship a God who you say is creator of all things. Tornadoes are things. It follows that your God created the tornadoes and that therefore your God caused this destruction. Do you have anything to say to your God about this? Do you have any questions to ask your God? Will you say to me, God works in mysterious ways? Will you say to me, these people sinned and God was punishing them. They fully deserved this? Will you say to me, God didn't do it, the devil did it? To that I reply, the buck stops with your God, creator of all things. Will you say to me, it was God's will, and who are we to question his will? Well then, by sending money for rebuilding, am I opposing your God's will? Or is it true that the destruction is God's will and then the rebuilding is also God's will? Is that the way it is? And there were deaths from those tornadoes. What about that? I say to you religious believers, as an atheist, I do not accept any of your explanations. They make no sense to me. You call your God our Father. That makes no sense to me. Are you going to ask me why I am angry at God? Please understand, I am not angry at any God because I do not believe that any God exists. I am no more angry at your God or any God than I am angry at Darth Vader. As an atheist, namely one who finds no credible evidence for the existence of any God, I can make sense of what happened in North Texas. I find no evidence that any God, any supernatural being, had anything to do with those tornadoes. Those tornadoes had purely natural causes. Meteorologists understand them. Today is one day in a very long string of nice weather days where I live. So far in my life, I have never endured a tornado. So far. Hurricane season starts in a couple of weeks. Good things happen, bad things happen. Much of what happens is within our control. Much of what happens is outside our control. It is up to us not to cause bad things to happen. But when bad things happen, whether within or beyond our control, it is up to us to work to set things right. And that is all there is to it. To all of you, thank you for watching this video.